Thank you, Honorable Chair, Monsignor Sorondo, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. I believe it is really important not to take this moment for granted. I'm honored and I feel blessed to be here with you today, and I know that you share my gratitude and enthusiasm. Indeed, we are extremely lucky. I would even say privileged to be here. We have exceptional skills, exceptional tools, exceptional power, and therefore exceptional responsibility towards all those less fortunate. It is important to always keep this in mind and act coherently on a daily basis. As WFUNA's Youth Advisory Council representative for Europe, I cover the European region together with an extremely motivated young woman from Denmark, Mignot Mesvin Nielsen. The Youth Advisory Council, or YAC, is composed of 9 youth leaders from all regions around the world, and in particular, besides Italy and Denmark, from Uganda, Zimbabwe, Malaysia, Bangladesh, United States of America, Mexico, and Venezuela. Working with such a diverse group of people from different nationalities and cultural backgrounds is incredibly inspiring and never ceases to be eye-opening. We were all elected in November 2015 with a 3-year mandate by the delegates of the WFUNA Youth Network during the second WFUNA Global Youth Forum, which was held in conjunction with the 41st WFUNA Plenary Assembly in Vancouver, Canada. Our main responsibility is to advise the Secretary General of the organization, Mr. Bonian Gul Mohammadi, on youth issues and innovative solutions. Most of the work that we have carried out so far has consisted in and continues to focus on improving the communications and collaboration between the various members that constitute our network. WFUNA is a global non-profit organization presenting and coordinating a membership of over 100 national United Nations associations, or UNAs, and there are thousands of individual members. Our headquarters are located right at the heart of the United Nations, at the One UN Plaza in New York City, and at the Palais des Nations in Geneva, Switzerland. We also have offices in Seoul, South Korea, and Brussels, Belgium. Among a long list of memberships and partnerships, we hold consultative status at the UN Economic and Social Council, the ECOSOC. Our activity is quite broad and is declined at various levels, but has a clear focus on youth. Hence, the centrality of youth engagement and empowerment on the WFUNA's agenda and the importance of the YAC. As its name implies, WFUNA is a federation, and its main aim is to facilitate information sharing and foster opportunities that can or are substantially amplified when its members share their ideas and energies and work closely together. WFUNA organizes every year various meetings on a regional and global level for young people to come together, sharing innovative ideas and best practices, as well as collaborating on joint projects. These include periodic gatherings on regional UNAs and UNYAs, as well as ad hoc conferences and events. One of the flagship projects that I had the opportunity to work on was WFUNA 2014, the first WFUNA International Model United Nations. As you know, a Model United Nations is a simulation of the work of the main organs of the EU, the UN. That year, we wanted to do something unique by simulating the General Assembly and its commissions in the most accurate and realistic way possible, by providing intensive training workshops taught directly by UN officials and briefings on important agenda items by UN agencies. WFUNA 2014 took place in Rome at the Food and Agriculture Organization thanks to the close and fruitful collaboration between WFUNA and UNA Italy, made itself possible also by the personal and professional relationship between Eun Kim and myself, who collectively led the organizing team on behalf of the two organizations. That experience was extremely positive and successful and led to great outcomes both for the Italian UNA and WFUNA. On one hand, the following year, UNA Italy gave me the responsibility to organize Rome in 2015. Rome official model United Nations, which resulted in the best edition by far of the event, with over 500 participants from 60 countries, and the adoption of a youth roadmap on the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals, which I handed to the Secretary General of the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and transmitted to the then Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Ban Ki-moon. On the other hand, in 2015, WFUNA organized another successful edition of WIMON in New York City, as well as starting to rotate a smaller version of the same on a regional basis, organizing it already twice in Agra, near New Delhi, India, and this year in Campinas, near Sao Paulo, Brazil. Other very interesting projects are the youth camp in Seoul, South Korea, and the human rights training in Geneva. I had the chance to participate in both programs, in Geneva as a trainee and in Seoul as a trainer. Even if, of course, I loved both experiences, spending 2 weeks explaining to young Korean students aged from 6 to 17 the foundations and the functionings of the United Nations was just priceless, a true life experience. Another cornerstone of our activity is the annual youth seminar, which this year will take place in Kampala, Uganda, in November. Kampala 2017 will focus on how the WFUNA Youth Network can support the implementation of the United Nations Security Council Resolution 2250 on youth, peace, and security, which formally recognized the role that young people play in building peace. To conclude, one program that I would like to spend a few more words on is the United Nations Youth Delegate Program, UNYDP. I have devoted 6 years to its establishment in Italy, and finally, this year, the UNYDP Italy was launched. Everything started in spring 2011, when I, together with a couple of friends, noticed the existence of this program while browsing the internet. Then we found that UNA Germany was providing a training course for launching the program in those European countries that still did not have one. Renato Corsi and I did not think about it twice and took a flight to Mannheim. Since then, together with other members of the UNYA Italy, we worked hard, raised awareness, and lobbied the UNA Italy leadership, the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as well as the government, particularly the Department of Youth. After a long time, this year the UNYDP finally was launched, and Giuseppina De Marco and Tommaso Murè were selected to go to New York City as first youth delegates accompanying the official Italian delegation to the 72nd session of the United Nations General Assembly. It was 2 weeks ago that I delivered a speech in the third commission of the GA, focusing on the challenges that the Italian and global youth are facing today, with a strong accent on youth employment and youth disengagement from the economic and political life, because of the unstable and often frustrating situation that many young people live in today, in Italy and worldwide, with very sad and dangerous consequences for everybody. The UNYDP has the potential to be a very good program and a great opportunity for young people to get directly involved in the discussion around the most important issues of our time. The main risk of such a program, though, is to become a way for governments and institutions to reaffirm their own agenda and priorities by using young people to say what they want and prevent them from raising difficult questions. But this is precisely what it is all about. Youth must be involved as a source for development and improvement, not as a way to justify and celebrate the status quo. So we need to make sure these kinds of programs are implemented in the most appropriate way to really give young people the opportunity to reflect on and discuss the issues we want. Thank you.